shark bait with Monster Shark Airsoft, and after that long 1 year wait, finally getting videos rolling again. With the start of this video for the review of the MP5 that you've waited so long to hear about, I plan on getting a video uploaded every Friday night around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, on a side note, to say thank you to those who have been supporting me on the channel, who have been pushing me to get the videos going, and that have waited this long time, I'm going to be giving shout outs with every review video to those who either have Instagram pages or channels. So, for each one that I give the shout out to, I have a link in the description down below to their page. Don't forget to subscribe to their channels, like their page, hit the notifications, and keep up with all of that. And if you're new to this channel or returning and you haven't done so yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button here as well. Now, as you can see behind me, I do have a lot of videos on the way because each gun on the gun wall will be getting a review video of its own. And that also doesn't include future mystery boxes and unboxings, which currently I still have at least 4 videos worth sitting in the corner. And I know you've heard them multiple times. Sorry about the roosters. But I do have at least 4 unboxing videos waiting, as well as, like I said, review videos for those. Now, the first one that I'm going to give a shout out to, he was the first one to subscribe to my channel. It's Herb with the Herbsurdity podcast, featuring Herb and just Alex. If you're into podcasts and you want to see some interesting people, go check out their channel. The next is a fellow Airsofter. He goes by the name of High Velocity Airsoft, and he does have a lot more content on his channel than I do. So if you're bored and waiting for me to get the next video up, go pass some time and check out some of the videos on his channel. Now, the next one is an Instagram page I'm going to give a shout out to. It belongs to a guy that goes by the call sign Hollywood. His page is Ivy League Airsoft. Now, when you go to his page, you'll see why I'm telling you to go check him out, because he does some amazing custom work on those airsoft guns. But that's not all. Not only does he customize the guns himself, but he also puts them up on eBay for you to be able to win a chance to purchase. Now, last but not least for this video shout out, it'll be going to Fox Airsoft. They're getting a shout out because, of course, as you know, that's where I've been getting a lot of my mystery boxes from. And if it wasn't for the mystery box in the last video, I wouldn't have had this beauty to do the review on for this one. So that's all that's getting a shout out for this video. Next review video, I'm not sure which one yet. Rather, I'm going to do my KWA QRF Mod 1, or if I'm going to do my Lancer Tactical M4 that's behind me. I'll leave that choice up to you. Let me know in the comments down below which one you would like to see next. Now, without making you wait any longer, let's jump into the review for the... Okay, everyone, so here it is, after that year-long wait, the review for the Elite Force MP5. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that from when I showed it to you out of the mystery box, I did change the stock on the gun from the retractable stock to this one. And that was because with this stock, it gave me more battery space. So currently in here I have a Lancer Tactical 11.1 volt battery, which actually filled up the whole compartment, and is currently a small Tamiya connector. Eventually I do plan on changing those out to the Dean's connectors, because from what I've understood is that they actually offer not only a better connection, but a better FPS when you go to check it on the chronograph. Now, starting up here with the front of the gun, you'll notice that it's got more of a realistic MP5 flash hider, but with this model you can actually remove this piece. That being said, you can either paint this to where it's not a bright orange to give your position away and you'll still have the orange tip, or you can simply just keep it attached to your gun. You'll also notice you have your front sight, which is a stationary sight. The handguard, which if you remove this pin, you'll see that this was the actual original battery compartment, which if you're like me and you want to run a bigger battery with more charge to it, swap it out, put it in the stock, because this did not have enough battery space for me. Now, I might have been doing it wrong, but even with that battery that came in the mystery box with it, I still had a little difficulty getting it into the handguard. Next up, you have your charging handle, which for that, it's more or less just for show, give it a bit more of an authentic look. Internally, it does nothing that I've noticed. other than, like I said, a bit more authentic. Next, the not the fire selector, but the mag release. You can either have the switch here on the bottom or the button that's on the back side. So either way, depending on how you run, or if you're left-handed or right-handed, you should be able to get to that with ease. Next is the fire selector switch, which, as you can see, it's an ambidextrous switch, meaning it's on both sides of the gun. Now, this was one of the small inconveniences that I found with the gun. Not something that would make me not use it, but after an extended period of gameplay, it got to be a little annoying. As you can see, if you're holding the gun on the other side, the selector does kind of push down into your finger. So like I said, not something too big of a deal, but more or less just a small inconvenience. Another one of the things about the gun that I wasn't too big of a fan of was this little piece right here, because that is your hop-up selector. So if you're trying to get better accuracy as it gets to the distance, or depending on the weight of the BB you use, you would adjust it there. Not too big of a fan of that. Now, the gun itself is fully polymer, so it's lightweight and yet still durable. I should know because I've dropped it once or twice and it still works just fine. Now, your front sight, like I said, is stationary. Your rear sight is actually rotatable. So you simply either turn it left or right, adjusting the size of the circle, which if you're somebody that'll actually use these sights when you're shooting, you know, smaller the circle, the less chances of missing the target. So aim small, miss small. With that, I will say that I actually enjoy using this gun. Let me put that over here. Like I said, it's small, lightweight, yet durable. And one of the things that I plan on doing in the review, because as you can see, I do have a sticker right here with 20 on the magazine. I have my other two magazines over here. Each one has a different weight of BBs. So I have my 20s, my 25s, and just to go outside of the box, 32s. The reason why I have 3 different weights of BBs is because I do have my chronograph here, which shout out to Fox Airsoft, because when I originally got it, I had asked them which brand did they recommend, which was more reliable, and they recommended the X-Cortec X3200 MK3. They said this was one that they used on their fields. It was reliable, accurate, and everyone was pretty pleased with it. So what I plan to do is about 5 or 6 shots through the chronograph, and I know it might be a bit difficult to see on the camera, so I'm going to read out the FPS, which is feet per second, telling you about how far the BB is going. Now the box, if I'm remembering correctly, says that with the 20s in this gun should be around about 340 FPS. So like I said, I'm going to do about 5 to 6 shots and read out what it says, so we can see around if it's actually sticking true to what they advertise or what it could be. So with the first shot, 329. Second shot's inconclusive. Third shot is 351, 353, 352, 351, 354. So with the 20s and the hop up unadjusted, it's actually sticking around the 350 range, which is about 1.167 joules. Now I also know it's a bit difficult to see ahead of me, but I do have 3 targets set up. One at 50 feet, one at 75 feet, one at 100 feet. Now when I was doing a couple of test shots, I noticed that it is kind of difficult to see the BBs. But the whole point of this isn't to show how horrible my accuracy is, because trust me, I know, I'm trash. For now at least. This was more or less to show that with the hop up unadjusted on the gun, as the weight of the BBs increases, how the BB reacts as the distance to your target increases as well. So with the first target being at 50 feet, the BB actually stays close to its target, staying center even with the hop up unadjusted on 20s. The next target at 75. As it gets to the target, it does kind of curve up to the left a little bit. And then your final target at 100 feet. It's kind of just all over the place. Some of it rised, some of it dropped. But of course, that's what your hop-up's for. So as you practice with your gun, depending on what BB weight you use, you can adjust your hop-up from there to get better accuracy out of it. Now what I'm doing next is I'm swapping over to the 25s. And I'm doing the same thing with that. So I'll go here, swap the ammo out to the 25 reading. And the same thing, I'll do 5 to 6 shots, and then we'll go to the accuracy testing. So on 25s, the first shot is at 350, 312, 299, 310, 308, 303, 297. Inconclusive, that was my fault really. And 297. So as you can see, as the BB's weight increased from 20s to 25s, it dropped from that 350 range down to 297, round about 305. And now, once again, the hop-up is unadjusted. We'll go at the target at 50 feet. It does stay a bit straighter as it gets to it. 75 feet. With that one, as it gets to the 75-foot mark, it does kind of swerve left a little bit. And then 100 feet. Same with that, they do kind of start swerving up as it gets closer to the target. Last, but not least, we'll go to the 32s. So I'll go back here, readjust again. .280, 226, 228, inconclusive, 245, 246, 246, 238, 241. So as you can see, from the 20 gram BBs hitting at 350 all the way down to 240 range with the 32s. And once again with the targets. Of course, at 50 feet is still keeping good accuracy. At 75 feet, they're kind of hitting low. So at 100 feet, I'm pretty sure they're going to drop. So yep, at 100 feet as it gets to the target, they do kind of start dropping. So once again, to remedy that issue, depending on what weight you use, or prefer to use, but also depending on the weight of the fields, you can adjust your hop up and the accuracy would get better. So with that being said, that's about all there is to this one. Now I know, like I said, with accuracy testing, it was a bit difficult to see the BBs themselves. So for future videos, I'm planning on actually getting a run cam, the 40mm lens one, and I'm going to test that out. So give me time to get that. We'll see how that looks, and hopefully you'll actually be able to see better on accuracy testings. So that's about it. Like I said, it's a pretty good gun. I do recommend it if you're looking to get an MP5 for an affordable price. This one I received in the Fox Airsoft $200 mystery box. And the price tag for the gun itself is around $185. So an entry-level fee, pretty reliable gun. And if you're like me and you like the MP5 body styles, it is a good one to get into. So, yeah.
Nothing I hate about the gun. Like I said, just a small inconvenience of the fire selector switch pushing down into my finger. The hop up, which it's doable. It's just more of a slight, not really one I prefer. And the small battery compartment in the handguard. So all of those are still doable, still a reliable gun, good for its price. That's about it for this video. So hopefully this was a bit helpful for you. Sorry that it took so long to get out here. And there will be plenty more videos coming because I do have a lot more guns in waiting. So as always, have fun, stay safe, hoo-ha-ha.